Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that I do every single week, typically on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And I want to thank everyone out there that is joining me in the live stream for taking time out of their respective evenings to watch the show. And everyone that is watching this on replay, shout out to you as well. It is definitely good to see everyone. So as I expected, people are taking quick note of the modifications that have been made to the comic book room. This is something that has been on my mind for quite some time, and I finally made the magic happen. Finally found the motivation. So let me say hello to some comic book swojas that have joined me here in the room, and then we will get started with what I think might be a pretty jam-packed agenda. So Tina is in the house. Hawkeye is here. Comms Collections, how you doing, brother? I just saw your post a few moments ago on Instagram. Thank you very much for that. Matthew is in the house. My man Jerry is in the house. It's good to see you, my friend. Master Blaster is here. Randy Resnake is in the house. Scrolling through the names. Matt Woods, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Scrolling. There is a robust conversation. Aaron Finkelstein, how you doing, my friend? It is good to see you. Jeffrey P in the house. Scrolling. Jim B is in the house. It is definitely good to see all of you guys. And again, I want to thank everyone. I see Connie up in here. Connie, how you doing? There's my man Philip as well. H Factor, Dre Boogie, Bayou Boy Entertainment, and Joe. How you guys doing? Welcome to the live stream. So there have been some changes to the comic book wall back behind me, and you can see what they are. There is definitely a theme that is happening back there. My man Mark hooked me up with that fantastic recreation of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four 49 back there. And I used it as a little bit of inspiration to make some additional changes to the wall. So on the left and the right, you basically can see a bunch of Jack Kirby's artwork, including the original, if you will, Fantastic Four 49 that is back there. So if you guys are interested in seeing more details, stay tuned. Stay tuned to the channel, because I'll be releasing a video, I think next week, that will actually showcase a lot of the changes and modifications back there. I have a pretty cool video that I put together, so definitely stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Love, what is that? Lee Wood says, love the back wall and love the FF centerpiece. Man, it turned. Oh, Sith Lord, you are hilarious. That is a mighty big comic book. Anthony, congrats, my man, on picking up that ASM 300. That's definitely a cool thing. That is definitely a cool thing. So, oh, there he is. There he is, my man Mark, who hooked me up with that dope recreation back there. I think Mark said to me the other day that he said I had a glimpse into what your life might be like. I think his Instagram feed, it was kind of blowing up. I think he's added, 50 new subscribers to his Instagram page. Lots of really positive things have been happening for him. And I couldn't be more pleased. I could not be more pleased that he is getting the attention that he deserves for being a fantastic artist. And I know he calls himself a craftsman, but I consider you an artist, my friend. And so all of the good things that are coming your way, congratulations for those things. More to come. So more to come. And I think we may talk about this a little bit later in the show here. So like I said, I have somewhat of a jam-packed agenda. There are, let me see, I have notes here. I think I have 4 things that I want to try to get to over the course of this live stream. And I think we're going to make our way through it in short. In short order. Rob Worst, how you doing, brother? Jester, welcome to the live stream. Yeah. Changes to the back wall. Video is coming soon. Where I'm actually going to show you guys behind the scenes what went into that wall behind me back there. It was a late night on Friday night. I'm gonna tell you, it's a late night. that went into the early morning. It was probably 2 a.m. when I wrapped this whole thing up. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned for that video, because I think it's going to be a cool one. That's going to drop probably next week. So I want to give you guys a couple of updates on a few things here. Let me see if I can get this thing in the right order. So it was just announced that this book right here, hopefully you guys can actually see this. This is Jonathan Hickman's Giant Size X-Men. This is actually a book, to be honest with you, that I was super pumped about. I was waiting for this book to drop. And the reason for that is because I think that Jonathan Hickman writes an incredible bad character, right? And that is a little bit of what Magneto is. Even though he is on the side of good right now, he is still somewhat of a bad character, right? Bad guy. But the way that Jonathan Hickman writes him is really incredible. And if you missed the video I dropped a couple of weeks ago, I definitely want to encourage you to go back and watch that video, because he does Jonathan Hickman, that is, does a really fantastic job writing dialogue for Magneto. It is actually quite impressive. But the reason that I prompt this is that this Giant Size X-Men Magneto has actually been pushed back. The book has been delayed, much to my chagrin. The book was supposed to be released. I think it was, I could have confused my dates here. I think it was supposed to come out in March or something like that, maybe February. And it's actually been delayed about 3 weeks. And so, 2 weeks from March to April. There we go. So my note is correct. So it has actually been pushed from March to April, much to my chagrin, because I was super pumped about reading this one. But here's the bright side. Maybe if there is a bright side, the bright side would be that they have actually done a substitute. And I don't know how good the substitute is, I'm going to be honest with you, but they have actually decided to substitute this book right here. That's being Giant Size X-Men Nightcrawler. They are going to move this book forward 3 weeks. And this book is actually going to be coming out in March 25th. I got really excited. When I initially saw this announcement. And I got excited probably because I made a huge mistake thinking that character over Nightcrawler's left shoulder, I thought that was Null. I thought that was Null for a minute. And I was like, oh my goodness, Null is in Giant Size X-Men Nightcrawler. And then I realized that was not Null. And so it was kind of like, oh, whatever. So Giant Size X-Men Magneto has been delayed a couple of weeks, and Giant Size X-Men Nightcrawler is going to be pulled forward. So what is this? Juggernaut #1 is also announced in May. Oh, check that out. I have not seen that one. You guys are definitely ahead of me on the curve with some of the news, man. I have to tell you this. What is this? I'd rather they take the time and put out Giant Size X-Men Magneto properly instead of maybe I definitely agree with that, Rob Worst. I definitely agree with that. Delay it to get it right. But here's the thing. They actually did not say why it was being delayed. They just said that it was being delayed with no explanation, at least that I was able to find. So who knows? Who knows what it could be? Maybe the script's not ready. Maybe the artwork's not ready. Maybe they had some, who knows? I really don't know. But I absolutely agree that it is better to wait and do it right than to do it and do it incorrectly. So I definitely agree with that sentiment. What's going on with Nightcrawler's face, says Comic Assassin. I don't know, man. He looked like he maybe had an upset tummy. I don't know. Let me zoom in. Yeah, that's an upset tummy look. That is an upset tummy. Let me throw that back up there. That is not a good look right there. Somebody has some issues. What is this? Hold on, let me read this comment. What does it say? Do you think it's getting bumped forward due to robust demand? Perhaps. To me, I mean, in my head, Magneto would probably be the bigger draw than would be Nightcrawler. And I say that because if you look at a lot of not that Marvel pays attention to my video, but I want to say that there's been a lot of people shining the light on like how Jonathan Hickman writes bad guys, whether it be Magneto's dialogue or Apocalypse's dialogue. I don't know that there's an outcry for Nightcrawler, right? And I think Nightcrawler definitely has his fans. Don't ever get me wrong about that. But if you had to compare the two, I would not see that there would be much of a demand for Nightcrawler versus Magneto. But you never know. Scrolling through some of the comments here, making sure I didn't miss anything. And again, Rob Worst, I think, had a great comment here about delay it, get it right before you put out Null. Null is everywhere. Why? Because Donny Cates basically created Null. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I think that Donny Cates is going to do everything that is in his power, right? As a talented writer, to solidify the Null's presence in Marvel Comics for decades to come. I really do. If you think about a lot of the great writers that are out there, a lot of them are known for a couple of characters, right? You know, typically it's like one character that you really get right. But Donny Cates has the ability to he has an ability to write really good stories, really compelling stories. Somebody was telling me recently that his lines were incredibly long whenever he shows up at a con. And I think because of his appeal and his ability to write really, really well, Marvel is giving him a lot of free reign. And with that free reign, he is using it to basically solidify, again, in my opinion, Null as a fantastic character for years to come. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I think Null's a dope character, right? But a lot of things we see out there kind of point to Null. And it's very, very interesting. It is very, very interesting. I don't think that character, like so many other characters that have been created and just go away, I do not think that character is going to go anywhere again if Donny Cates continues to put out great work. I think that Marvel is going to give him the latitude to do a lot of really wonderful things. So scrolling through some of the comments, Donny Cates is the man, says Connie. I think Null is oversaturated. We're seeing too much of him, says Sully to Kings. What is this? Marvel is just waiting for the polls to align correctly. What is this? Just follow good writers on X books and forget the noise. Hickman, Bunn, and Zdarsky. I think that's how you say that. Donny Cates and Jim Lee are scheduled for WonderCon. Yeah, I heard about that. I think they just did. They do the comic shop in Vegas. I thought they were just there. But yeah, I mean, this right here is a great combination, right? I think Jim Lee is, in my opinion, always on fire. And we'll talk about him in just a moment. And I think Donny Cates is just really, really incredible. You know what I'm saying? Null has potential for a robust history for sure. And I think there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. I think that it's fantastic that he's using this opportunity to do something that is really cool. And the character is fascinating. It's a fascinating character, no doubt about it. So what is this? Donny Cates Thor is the first ever Marvel book on his pull list. Man, it's a good book. I mean, I cannot blame you for that one, Tommy, because the way he's writing Thor, it's good. And I'm not a Thor fan, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm digging the way that he's writing Thor. I am digging it. And I enjoyed what Jason Aaron did on Thor. Again, not a huge Thor fan, but Jason Aaron did his thing on Thor, and I read it and I enjoyed it. And Donny Cates is following up, and Donny Cates is doing it. He's doing it. I've said it before that this is a really fantastic age of comics. There is a lot of really, really good content that's being put out right now. And I think that Donny Cates is actually doing something for Image right now. I think he's doing a book for Image that I don't know when it's going to drop, but I think that's coming out. He recently did a script. I can't remember who he did the script for, but it's something in Hollywood that he was working on as well, and kind of made some comments about he would love to do more of that work. And I don't begrudge him that desire to do more work in Hollywood. So shout out to him. One other quick update here before we get into some additional details. I wanted to give you guys a heads up that I think my very first speculation recap video for Go Collect is actually going to be dropping this week. I was about to say Wednesday, but I backed off of that because I don't know that it's going to be Wednesday, but I think it's coming out this week. I think it's a cool video. I did the entire thing in one take. I did not. I'm joking. But I think it's a cool video. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned to Go Collects channel. That video should be dropping this week. When it does, I will definitely be shouting it out in a couple of different ways, primarily on Instagram, possibly on the community tab. Depends upon how my week goes. But I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned for that Go Collect video. So, all All right, so let me give you guys a couple of other updates that are going here. So I was talking about the piece that is in the back there. My man Mark did his thing, hooked me up with this really, really fantastic piece of artwork back there, a recreation of Fantastic 449. We have released a video in which we are calling for you guys to leave comments to let us know which book you want Mark to recreate. And I definitely want to encourage you. Let me see if I can pull that up. If you guys have not watched this video, if you have not watched this video on the YouTube machine, I definitely want to encourage you guys to head over to the channel and take a look at the video that dropped, because I really do think that it's a fun video that kind of shows just how talented Mark actually is. And actually, I'm going to try to play this thing silently in the background. But it's actually a really cool video that shows some behind the scenes work that he did to actually create this wonderful piece of art. And so if you guys have a moment, head over there, check out the video. But then I also want to encourage you to leave a comment behind. And I say leave a comment behind because if you want to have some input into what the giveaway is, because Mark is going to give away a recreation of a cover. If you want to have some input, you go over, you leave a comment in the comment section. And what I'll tell you is that the video has been viewed over 1,000 times. And what you're seeing here on screen is him actually painting the piece that is behind me right now. The video has been viewed over 1,000 times. There have been, I think, 170, more than 170 thumbs up on this video. I think 0 thumbs down, which I think is incredible. And then there are also over 200 comments. Over 200 comments have actually been left on this video where people are basically saying what they want Mark to actually create. And so Mark sat down the other day, and I think he read every single one of those comments, and he has taken a tally of what people want to see. But it is not too late. It is not too late to have your voice actually be heard. So if you have a couple of moments, I definitely want to encourage you to head over and check out the video, leave a comment behind, and let Mark know what you might be interested in seeing him actually give away. And so what you're about to see here on screen, hopefully you guys are seeing this, is something really cool. In a hot second, it glows in the dark. How dope is that? And I'm gonna tell you, it's super creepy. Super creepy when you turn the lights out and you forget that the thing glows in the dark. But shout out to my man, Mark. There is a link in the description of that video that actually shows, that provides a link to his website and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you guys check Mark out. Jeff says, I wish the video was longer. Yeah, man, it was a time-lapsed video. It was a time-lapsed video. So it was, it was a month's worth of work collapsed in, I think, like 2 minutes or something like that. So Monte Vista says the song was awesome. Yes, indeed it was. It was a really cool song. It was a really cool song. So I think I may have just lost my chat feature. We'll see whether this thing actually catches up in just a moment. So bear with me as I pop over to YouTube just in case this thing does not recover. One of the more annoying things about this platform that I'm actually using is that I actually lose some of that stuff. So if you guys are enjoying the conversation here, make sure that you guys hit the thumbs up. Let me know that you guys are liking this thing. Matthew says, Galactus is watching everything that you do, Reggie, and I mean everything. Don't be creepy, Matthew. Don't be creepy. All right, so we're going to keep this thing moving on. And the next thing that I want to talk about, did anybody see this weekend? Did anybody watch at the movies Birds of Prey? Did anyone go watch that? I'm typing it in right now. Birds of Prey. I'm curious if anyone actually went to the movies to actually check out this show. And so let me see. 78 watching, only 24 likes. Man, James Tomlinson, brother, the odds are not in my favor. Birds of Prey, saw it Thursday, says Gray. Coben says nah. Hawkeye's like, I want to. Scrolling down through the comments here. So I definitely, if you guys get a chance, Noah watch Joker, says Matthew. According to memes, no one went is what it says. Comic Assassin says he took his daughter for her birthday. Shout out to your daughter, my friend. Mark is saying it was trash. Not yet. My wife didn't want Joe, Joe T. I will not read that comment aloud. You are hilarious, my friend. All right, so Birds of Prey actually dropped this week, and I would say that a lot of the reviews are very, very mixed about this show. So I was curious if anyone had actually gone to see it. The Almighty Liger King says, I did not see it yet, but I heard nobody saw it, is what he is saying right now. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys. So the reviews are kind of all over the place for this movie. But what I will tell you is that it seems to be a very disappointing open for this particular movie. And you can see the actress right there that actually played Harley Quinn. The movie seems to have been a little bit of a disappointment. And you can see here with the headline that they basically made $33.3 million domestically. And this was across roughly 4,200 theaters in the United States. Internationally, it made $48 million in 78 markets for a total of 81.3 globally. 81.3. Now, to me, that's a lot of money. I'm gonna be honest with you. You give me 10% of that, I'm doing good, right? I'm living the life, right? But they are saying that this movie did not meet expectations, not at all. That is basically the rumors on the street right now, and I think part of that is because DC, according to the reports, was actually aiming for 110 million. They were expecting this movie to basically bring in 110 million globally, and it only brought in 81 million. I think that they were expecting the US to basically do about 50 million, which is where some of their other recent movies actually did. And again, unfortunately, they only made $33.3 million. And so it is definitely behind what DC's expectations were for this movie. And so this is actually coming right now from the Hollywood Reporter. I'm actually pulling this information from the Hollywood Reporter. So, and I want to say that this was actually released today. I think this is a post from today. Yeah. This was from 7 a.m. earlier today when I was doing my research. So again, not necessarily meeting the expectations according to all of the insiders. But there are some people that I think that have seen this and actually spoke very highly of it. But I don't know. And so I started to do some additional research, right? And there were several people out there that have made some comments about what went wrong with this movie. And so Forbes actually had a list. They had a list. Hopefully you guys can actually see this thing. Let me make sure. Yeah. Forbes had a list where they actually talked about all of the things that potentially went wrong with this movie. And part of it was that they should have waited a week. There were some things around the timing that were off. They said that they should have leveraged Harley Quinn's name a little bit better instead of calling it Birds of Prey. It should have been Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey or something like that, thinking that that was just a better way to kind of cash in on her name and name recognition. It was a loose sequel, they say here, to Suicide Squad, but without some of the more important characters, that being Batman and Joker, and of course the ever charming Will Smith. And the list kind of goes on and on in terms of what they kind of missed out on. They say Bad Boys for Life actually stole some of the movie's thunder because I think it's still pulling down a lot of money, that being Bad Boys for Life. And then one of the other things that they kind of pointed out was the fact that the movie had an R rating. The movie had an R rating, which basically means that there's a lot of people, a lot of kids that can't go see it, a lot of adults that want to see it that have kids that can't go because of that. But again, they were saying that they didn't expect the movie to be a blockbuster, but they did have some expectations of around 50 million, and the movie definitely fell short of that. So see what you guys are talking about. What is this? What is it? Something is wrong when Wonder Woman and Aquaman kick Batman and Superman's butt at the box office. Wow, there you go. Jonathan says, I think they should have done PG-13. It's a type of movie teenagers would probably love to watch. You are probably correct about that. I think they also expected that a lot more women would go to see this movie because I guess it's like a woman's like empowerment kind of movie, and they expected that. But I think that the audience split when they did the exit screener of people leaving. I think it was like, I scanned this number, but it had to be like 80 to 90% men that were actually going to see this movie. So like 80 to 90% of adult men, right? So not even teens, not women, but a lot of guys actually going to check it out. So What is this? Scrolling, I think someone said definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth a watch. Definitely not something I would buy on DVD, though. Not disappointing, just underwhelmed was Gray's comment here. Jerry's asking the question of why DC can't make a movie so disappointing. DCU movies are a big disappointment, says we got issues. And again, you guys have to excuse me. I'm having to bounce back and forth between multiple screens here because my interface actually went out. James Tomlinson, hilarious as always. Scrolling down, our rating says Matthew, I can't see it and I don't really care. Matthew is for those that don't know, he's 16 years old. Matthew is one of the younger people that watch this channel, watches it consistently. A shout out to you, my friend, down there in another part of Northern California. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, scrolling. What is that? DC equals, I missed that. A deplorable cinema. Gray says it was all guys in my theater. No one is shocked by that. Okay. It is, after all, Harley Quinn. So, Tina went to go see it. She says, I want to see it. All right. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, Gray says there were 1 or 2 women in the theater, max on opening night. Yeah. So it seems that the movie's a little disappointing. And one of the big questions is why can't DC get it together? I don't know the answer to that. I know that they actually pull back on their whole DCU concepts because they wanted to try to retool and figure out how to do a connected universe similar to how Marvel is actually doing it. I thought that was one of the announcements that they made maybe 5 months ago or so. They kind of announced, I think that was something that we actually talked about, where they were like, you know what, we are going to hit the pause button on this, DC unified universe or whatever. We need to retool. We need to sort some things out. I honestly wish nothing but the best for DC, because I want them to continue putting out really good movies, because I want the movies to continue, scrolling down through some of the comments here. There is a hilarious comment. It says, if a woman says, oh my God, I love Harley Quinn, she is my role model / spirit animal, run for the hills. You might want to. That's all I'm going to say about that one. You might want to run for the hills. Bad boys. Oh my goodness. You guys are on a roll tonight. You guys are hilarious. What is this? DC's animated movies are great. I'm not a big fan of their live action movies. That was a comment from Kimball here a second ago. I struggle with movies just in general because I don't really get a chance to go to the movies because, we have young kids and all that kind of stuff. My wife is not a fan of movies. I don't get a chance to go all that often. So, all right, we're going to keep this thing moving forward. So I want to give you guys a heads up on some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel this week. And I think there's a couple of really good videos that are going to be coming out this week. And stay tuned, because we're going to do a couple of things. I'll give a shout out to Patreon members in a couple of moments. So if you are a Patreon member, don't miss your shout out. That is coming up. You guys are going to actually help me pick the Go Collect giveaway, not for this coming week, but for the following week. You guys will help me pick that in just a couple of moments. I'm not going to show you the book, but you'll have a chance to pick it, at least weigh in. So stay tuned for that. And then we're also going to do the Go Collect giveaway here in just a couple of moments. So give me a couple of minutes here. So we have some cool videos that are going to be coming out this week. There is an Infinity Gem related comic that I'm going to be talking about. Huge shout out to all the subscribers that reach out to me to ask questions that prompt me to go do research, because from that research oftentimes comes videos. And so there is going to be a video dropping this week where I'm actually going to be talking about an Infinity Gem related comic, and maybe a little known piece of like history. And so I think it's going to be a cool video. So I definitely encourage you guys to stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing a massive haul. There was a large haul. It was a little bit of an unexpected haul as well. As a subscriber that sent me something, I opened it towards the end of a video and then realized just how much was in the box that I then had to show on screen. So it's a massive haul, and it was an accidental one. I was not prepared. I was not properly hydrated for that level of commitment and talking. I'm actually going to share with you guys two of my goals. A lot of people have been asking, what are you trying to accomplish this year? Now that you've finished Amazing Spider-Man, the full run of Amazing Spider-Man, what are you going to do now? So I'm actually going to share with you two goals that I'm calling BHAG. I don't know if you guys know what BHAG is, but I'll leave that out there for you. Two BHAGs will be shared this week. I'm going to do a tribute to Jim Lee, and you guys heard me talk about Jim Lee a little bit earlier in the video, so we're going to do a tribute to Jim Lee. This is part of the Random Run series that I'm doing, where I'm basically showing you a series of books tied to a theme of some sort, but there are books from, you know, all different publishers, all different titles, all different characters. So it's a little bit of a random run of comics. So this one's going to be focused on the very talented Jim Lee. And then the very last video that is going to be coming out, and I should tell you, these videos are not coming out in this order. I'm basically just running them down. Because it is going to be Valentine's Day, I think this week, Valentine's Day, we are going to do a video that is going to talk about what you should do if your significant other hates comics and comic collecting. And this video was inspired by many people that have actually asked me questions about my relationship with my wife. And it was after a recent live stream where I actually talked about my wife that I had the epiphany of how to do the video. Because people have been like, hey, can you do a video on this? And I'm like, I don't know what to say. But after this live stream, I had the epiphany. And then I decided I had it. I had the angle. And so I recorded the video, what to do if your significant other hates comics and comic collecting. I think that it is a fun video. So definitely stay tuned for that. Myth Lab Music. I see you, brother. Jerry G says, always stay hydrated when hunting comics. I'm telling you, man, you have to have every comic book soldier needs to stay hydrated and ready for action, because you never know when you have to lift long boxes and tote them. I had a chance, what was this, last year? I think it was last year, 19, to go through a very massive collection of comics. And thankfully I was in fantastic shape and I was able to haul those boxes. But I might need to go back to the gym if I ever get an opportunity to go through a collection like that again. Christopher says, love those tribute videos. Someone said to me the other day, they said, I saw that you dropped the tribute video and I immediately had to search for Alex Frost because I thought he was dead. And because, you know, typically tribute videos are for people that have passed on. And no, that is not the case. My whole thing is, let's pay tribute to these fantastic artists while we still have them, not after they've passed on. So yeah, there may be a recording of a tribute video to an artist who has passed on, but I'll allow you guys to see that video in a couple of weeks when I actually release that one. So, all right, so those are the videos that are going to be coming out this week. And then we're also going to be releasing one podcast. There'll be a podcast that is going to drop, I want to say Monday morning at 7 a.m. That seems to be the time at which the podcasts come out. So if you guys don't know about this, you can basically find me on Podbean, on podbean.com. You guys can actually find the podcast, but you can also find it in lots of other places. The podcast is in several places. Wherever you want to listen to podcasts, I am probably there. And I'm actually pretty pumped about the podcast. It seems to be doing well. We've had over 3,500 downloads of the various podcasts that I've released, which I think is really cool that people actually, you know, enjoy the podcast stuff. So trying to see if I can show you something here on screen, but I don't think I can show you anything that's not like my dashboard. Actually, maybe I can. So here we go. I'm actually going to share my screen here with you guys real quick. For those that are not familiar with Podbean, you can actually see it here. That is not the screen that I wanted to show, so we have to turn that one off. Let me pop this thing up one more time, see if I can actually find the right window. This is what happens when you're juggling like 20 windows on your side. So here we go. This is actually the Podbean interface, and you can see here Reggie Collects, the one that I released on 5/3, which was last week. Comics are too expensive, but are they really? You can see here, I've released 52 episodes of this thing, roughly, I guess, like 1 week, but I've actually, released probably 2 a week at various points, but roughly 3,500 downloads. And so if you get a chance, some good stuff over here, check it out. And again, if you go to podbean.com, you can actually access it. You can download whatever, you can do it on Google Play and the iTunes store. It's also available to you guys there as well. So let me cancel out of that. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for this giveaway. Put that off to the side. Let's go ahead and do the giveaway. And then I'm going to have you guys help me to pick the book that's going to be given away, not this week, but the week after. And then I'm going to give a shout out to the Patreon members, and then we'll maybe do a little bit of a Q&A. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to give away this book right here. This is a really cool book. This is Supervillain Classics, Galactus, The Origin. It is a 9.8 white pages, really, really cool book that I actually talked about recently here on the channel. It is a really, really nice copy. I actually picked up 4 copies of this, and I have 3 for my collection. One of them is a 9.8. Then there are 2 raw. One is direct, one is newsstand. And then we're going to give away one right here. So I want to give a huge shout out to folks over at Go Collect who put me in a position to be able to do these giveaways for the last 52 weeks, right? They've been hooking me up for me to be able to give away these really cool books. And so definitely want to give a shout out to those guys. And just as a reminder, I am actually going to, I think my very first video for them is going to be released on their channel this week, possibly on Wednesday. So here you can actually see all of the individuals that entered this week's giveaway. I think there were 266 individuals, and that's pretty much on average for where we've been. I want to say that the largest was probably in the 300s, if memory serves correctly, but 266 is about on average. But these are all the people that were able to identify the video this week that actually had the phrase. They were able to navigate their way to the community tab here on YouTube, and they were able to plug in their information. And so these are all the individuals. And I will tell you, there was not one duplicative entry this week, and I am super pleased. I didn't have to throw out anyone's entry. So I want to thank everyone out there for abiding by the rules that we have set up for these giveaways. It is greatly appreciated. It actually cuts down on my work and my stress level. So I want to say thank you for that. And then people also only entered the phrase. They only entered the phrase, no other words into the box, because again, that cuts down on my workload as well. So I want to say thank you to everybody for continuing to make my life a little easier. So let's go ahead and we're going to roll some dice here. We're going to figure out how many times we are going to have to randomize this list, and we have to randomize it a total of 10 times. We're going to randomize this list a total of 10 times, and then we are going to give away a really, really cool book. So let me go ahead, share my screen one more time so that you guys can actually see the list randomizer. We're going to do this thing a total of 10 times. So that is 1. Scrolling down, that is 2. Scrolling down, actually 26. Sorry about that. I gave you guys the wrong number. My apologies there. I think that is 3. Here is 4. We are halfway there with 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And the winner of the Go Collect giveaway for this week, for the 52nd week, is Joel. Joel, you, sir, are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. You, sir, are the winner. Congratulations, Joel. This book, as I move this off the screen, this book right here, the Supervillain Classics #1 is yours. It is 9.8 with white pages. Joel, make sure you send me an email to Regie@RegieCollects.com. And in that email, I need to know your screen name, your real name, your mailing address, and your preference. We have a couple of options here. I can give you a t-shirt. The t-shirts only come in large and extra large. They come in dark gray like this, and they come in light gray, but large and extra large. So I would need to know your size and also your preference of color, light gray or dark gray. If you do not want a shirt, there is actually some really cool Go Collect pins that they have. It's a stylus / pin. So I can send you that in lieu of the t-shirt. And then you'll also get a really cool comic, not this comic, but you'll get you'll get this comic, but you'll get another comic from Go Collect. It is a variant cover that Go Collect did a few years ago. We'll bundle all this stuff up and we'll get it sent out to you first thing Monday morning. So shout out to, let me make sure I got the name right, Joel Walters. You, sir, are the winner. You have 1 week to claim your prize. All right. So let me ask you guys real quick. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to see next week's book, or do you want to pick the week after's book first? What's the preference here? Go collect your slab. Joel is my fake account, man. I hope it's not a fake account. I'll have to throw off the government to just send it to me. Oh, so we have some late breaking news. It looks like the actor that played the Joker actually won Best Actor award for his portrayal of the Joker. So shout out. So we have a lot of people voting right now, and it looks like people are saying this coming week. Oh, there's some mixed reviews here. There's mixed reviews. Pick, says Joe. All right, so let me show you guys the book. Let me get my let me see if I can get my Go Collect interface up here, because I did not have that. I had like probably almost a dozen or so screens open here. So let me get Go Collect open here real quick, so I show you guys this. So here we go. This is the book that is going to be given away this week. It is really cool. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is actually an Atlas Comics. This is actually an Atlas Comics, which is the predecessor to Marvel. I have never held in my hands an Atlas comic, but this is the book. It is Spellbound number 12. This is the book that is going to be given away this week. It is Spellbound number 12 from Atlas Comics from 1953. This is this week's Go Collect giveaway that is going to actually be dropped as part of the giveaway. Is a 3.0 off-white pages. My friend the Ghost is what that says. So this book could be yours. All you have to do is stay tuned to the videos that come out from the channel this week, typically at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. And in one of those videos that comes out over the course of this week, there will be a phrase. You capture that phrase, you head over to the community tab on YouTube. You find the post where I'm talking about this week's giveaway. There will be a link. You click on the link, you go to MailChimp, you plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 pieces of information are related to you. One of them is the phrase that I would have given you in the video. You plug that stuff in, you hit the submit button. You are now in the running to win this book. You then tune into the Ready, Set, Go preview show to find out if you are the winner. And we'll be giving away this book next week. And it could be yours. This book could be yours in 1 week's time. A really nice Stan Lee Atlas Comics story could be yours. So I wish everybody good luck on this particular giveaway, because I honestly think that that's a really cool book. Let me see. I ain't afraid of no ghost, says Master Blaster. John T says, I was 2 years old when that dropped. Today, I've learned of a new book. There you go. Those Golden Age horror books look great, says Matthew. Randy Resnake is like, nice. Almighty Liger King says, I am spellbound for that comic. Bayou Boy Entertainment is rubbing it in. He says his dad was 3 in 1953. Oh, man. It's a pretty cool book, I think. That is a sexy book, says Comms. Scrolling through Golden Age, shouts out the Almighty Liger King. So there you go. This book is definitely going to be a really cool book. Hopefully everyone stays tuned to the various videos that are dropping this week. So let me do something real quick. I want to give a quick shout out to Patreon members, and then we are going to give you guys actually an opportunity to pick next week's book. So huge shout out to all of the members of Patreon that have continued to support the channel. So Chris B, Comic Books NYC, David S, Jack B, Jeff P, Joa, Jose T, Josh A, Josh D, Lee, Vika, Matt W, Mike R, Nicholas, Noah, the honorable nephew, super honorable nephew to be specific, Tina K, and Wayne M. Shout out to all of you guys for supporting the channel via Patreon. I absolutely appreciate you guys. Like I said, I use a lot of the money that comes from that stuff to reinvest in things here on the channel. That paint back there wasn't free. I'm gonna just tell you that it was free because I actually got it out of the basement. So ignore that comment, but no, seriously. Thank you to all the Patreon members. And I think Rob Boswell, I think Rob gave me a super chat and I missed it. Let me scroll back up. Rob, you have my apologies, bro. I saw it come in and then I was like, I'll get to it in a sec. So Rob Boswell hooked me up. He says, for comic book running passed away. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Rob has been contributing to the cause to get me to buy more Star Wars books. And now I think he's moved on to another worthy cause. So shout out to you, my friend, for hooking me up with that super chat. I absolutely appreciate it. So let's pick not this week, but next week's Go Collect giveaway book. And I'm not going to show you what the book is. You'll have to stay tuned for the videos that are going to be coming out next week. And there's a reason for it. But here, I'm going to ask you guys right now, A and B. These are hopefully, let me pop back because I'm in the wrong screen here. So A and B, by a show of text, what is next week's, following week's, 2 weeks from now's giveaway from Go Collect? Which one is it? Tina, if you can help me keep track, if you can help me keep track of scores here, it would be greatly appreciated. Wow, they are flowing in. Tina says A, please. Tina, if you can help me out. It looks like a lot of A's. I don't know if there's another moderator in here, but a lot of A. Matt Wood, C is not an option. Matt, C is not an option. That is actually not one of the options. I'm gonna just Matthew. What is it with the Matts? What is it with the army of Matts saying C? You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. So I don't know. It looks like a lot of A's. I don't know. Bearded Comic Collectors like all of the above. Christopher Nash like both. You guys are just making stuff up. You guys are just making Sunny 2 King because Gibbon has to be. B for bodybuilding, says Dustin. Holla at your boy. Dustin, I see you, brother. B is a good answer. A, I like the Gibbons. Shit. The Almighty Lager King says, when your head was in the middle, it spelled boa. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. So we'll have to tabulate this later because I honestly could not keep track. B for Boswell, says Rob Boswell. I was never good at multiple choice. Clearly, Eugene. And neither are the Matts. The Matts are also not good at multiple choice. So we will sort this out a little bit later. I'm actually probably going to record the video that is going to give this book away in 2 weeks tonight, which is part of the reason why I'm asking the question. So again, as we kind of wrap this thing up, because I have a couple of things that I need to get to, huge shout out to all the Patreon members for hooking me up. A lot of really good videos that are going to be coming out from the channel this week. There is one that is on the Infinity Gem, or related to the Infinity Gems. You'll have to stay tuned for the video to really see what I'm talking about there. But that video was actually inspired by a subscriber and a conversation that he was having with his son recently. So stay tuned for that because I think it's going to be a good one. Tina is saying it looks like B. Tina says it looks like B, and if Tina said it, then it is true. So it is going to be B. I'm going to leave this one on the desk because I'm about to record that video in just a couple of moments. So Infinity Gem related comic video is going to be dropping this week. Massive haul will be coming as well. I'm going to be sharing my BHAGs, two of my BHAGs for 2020. Tribute to Jim Lee is going to be coming out this week. And then because it is Valentine's Day, what do you do when your significant other hates comics, hates comic collecting, and just does not get it? That is going to be, I think, a cool video that you guys are going to want to check out. If you haven't watched a mind-blowing AOK video I want to encourage you to watch that video. Mind-blowing A-OK. It is here on the channel. You want to get involved with this one. This is going to inspire the recreation, like that one back there, the recreation that we are actually going to give away to one lucky subscriber. So you definitely want to check that out. Have your voice be heard. So far, more than 200 of you have already commented on that video. So check that one out if you guys haven't. And then stay tuned, because I think that my first speculation recap video will be dropping from Go Collects channel this week. So stay tuned, because I think it's going to be a cool video, and I hope that you guys will be willing to check it out. We have to do better than what was done before, because you know, I'm bringing an audience with me. So hopefully we can have a good turnout for that one. So with that, I want to thank all of you for taking time to hang out with me just a little bit on this Sunday night. Shout out to Joaquin. Is it Joaquin that actually just won the best actor for his portrayal of Joker in the movie entitled Joker? It is, I guess, an example of where DC actually got it right, unlike Birds of Prey, where there could have been some room for improvement. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can send me an email to Regie at Regie Collects. I butchered that. Regie at RegieCollects.com. That was actually correct. Thank you guys. If you need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.